Welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the polishes that are on my winter rack for this season, I guess 2022/2023. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you're looking forward to seeing what's on my winter rack this season. I'm so excited to share these polishes with you. I wasn't going to make a winter rack this season because honestly, with a baby coming, I don't know how many polishes I'm going to get around to wearing, but it was definitely fun to go through my collection and pull some shades that are inspiring me, and hopefully, you know, making this video and swatching them on a swatch wheel is gonna make me more likely to wear them. Before we take a look at my winter rack, I did want to share with you what's on my nails. It's so beautiful. This is Bluebird Lacquer's the old Razzle Bedazzle, the old Razzle Bedazzle. And I got this in July's Polish Pickup Rewind this year. Yeah, it's holiday season and I've been loving pinks this holiday season. So this one I thought was completely stunning. So I definitely dialed down my rack. You all know, if you've watched my seasonal rack videos before, it's not uncommon for me to pick like 50, 60 polishes, but I just knew I wouldn't have time to wear them, so I tried to stick with around 30 this season. Like most people, I feel like I am primarily drawn to grays and whites and blues and just anything dusty and dreary, but I did pull a few reds, pinks, and purples as well. So let's take a look. We're gonna start with reds first. This one is from Believe Beauty and it's called Duchess. I believe this one was actually on my fall rack. It's a really vampy, brown leaning red, and I love these kind of shades, not just in the fall season, but in winter as well. This had a gorgeously smooth jelly formula. It was fully opaque for me in 3 coats on the nail wheel, but I think I maybe could get away with 2 on my natural nails. The next shade I'd love to get around to this season is a classic China Glaze. This one is High Maintenance. I feel like it's coming off just a bit brighter on camera than it is in real life, but it is it's like a Louboutin red. It's like a lipstick classic red. This had a wonderful formula as well. I think it is gonna be between a 2 and 3 coater, and it was so easy to apply. Yeah, I love reds like this, basically any time of year except for springtime. And then the last red I'd love to get around to this season comes from Fair Maiden Polish. This one is called Hearts x3, and it's an untried for me. It was actually gifted from a friend. I was pining after this polish for months, maybe even years, because I know it's Fair Maiden Polish's best seller of all time, and that's what their website said at one point anyway. And a friend heard me say that and was like, "Do you want my bottle?" And I was like, "Of course." In person, it's a little bit more warm toned than I was expecting. It definitely has a warmer red base, but the holographic, oh my goodness, so beautiful. Like, I could totally see myself wearing that in February around Valentine's Day. This is a returning polish from my holiday rack. Some of you may remember. It is China Glaze You're Too Sweet. This one has a clear base and it is packed with beautiful soft pink holographic micro glitter. I kind of have my manis planned out for the rest of the month until the baby comes, and I just know I'm not gonna get around to this one, so I did want to re-add it to my winter rack. It is so pretty, and another one that I would love to wear in February around Valentine's. Another one that I've had in my collection for a while but just haven't gotten around to wearing it as a full manicure anyway is Essie Mademoiselle. This is a classic Essie, I'm sure you probably have heard of it, or you maybe even have it in your collection too, but it's a soft jelly pink. I think I've swatched many things over this before, like toppers and things like that, but I don't think I've worn this as a full manicure, and I'd really like to. It looks so elegant and dainty, and yeah, sometimes that's exactly what I want in the wintertime. From Fancy Gloss, we've got Cozy Sweater. This released about a year ago in Polish Pickup, and when I was looking through my drawers to pull for this rack, I couldn't believe I hadn't put this one on yet. I thought it was gonna be more of a purple. We're kind of transitioning into purples now, but you can see underneath those flakies are a gorgeous, like very warm toned purple, almost like berry leaning base with lots of beautiful flakies in gold, green, and some other colors too. This one was fully opaque in 2 coats, but I did feel like the 3rd coat deepened the color a little bit. I feel like this color would be really well suited for fall. I wish I would have pulled it for that rack, but yeah, with the name Cozy Sweater, I think I can get away with it in the winter time. And then I also wanted to pull a primary purple for my rack. This one's from Femme Fatale and it's called Devil's Wheel. I got this one in a trade or maybe a friend gifted it to me, I'm not sure, but it has a beautiful primary purple base and tiny little flakes that are just so dainty. This is another one that I think would be great for a fall rack, but it's kind of a jewel tone, so I'm looking forward to wearing it this winter, hopefully. It had a sheer formula than I was expecting, but it built up really well in 3 coats. Gorgeous shade. I only pulled 1 black for my rack this season. I'm not big on black polish in the winter time. I wish I were because it just looks so, it looks really cool in the winter time, but I mostly only wear black polishes around Halloween. So this Stella, or New Year's, this Stella Chroma is one I would love to get around to this season. It was actually a mystery shade for September. I think it was kind of intended for Halloween. But as you can see, it has a black jelly base. It could be a super dark purple jelly base, but it appears to be black on the nail and a stunning purple shimmer. Usually polishes like this would go automatically to my D-stash. Like I said, I don't wear dark black, almost black polishes often, but something about this is just so intriguing to me. It's very mysterious and I think I could really get down with this on a super cold day. I wasn't quite sure whether to put this next polish into my purples or my grays, so I just put it right in the middle. This one's from Pahlish and it's called Pop. This was their New Year's Eve polish for last year. It was like a gift with purchase, I think. Actually, maybe it was a mystery. I think it was a mystery. But it has a really purple leaning gray base. It's super smoky and it is packed with just confetti colored flakes, every color you can imagine. I think when this arrived to me last year, it was really close to New Year's and I already had my polish picked out for that, but I would love to wear this one on New Year's if I end up wearing a polish that day. I also think it would look super cool mattified. It does have holographic flakies in it though, so I don't know, we'll see. A last minute addition to my rack was from Potion Polish and it's called Flannel Jammies. I've been loving everything Potion Polish has come out with lately. I only have about 6 or 7 of their polishes, but you know you love a brand when you've worn all of them. I've gotten them all in like the past year and I've worn every single one except for this one, so we are gonna fit this one in this season. It's a slightly light mid-toned gray with copper micro glitters in some various sizes. There are micro glitters and then there are some small hex glitters too. Continuing on with our grays, maybe some silvers and whites too. They kind of all, on my rack, they kind of all run together. But this one is from Penelope and it is called We Walk Alone. This one came out in May's Hella Handmade Creation shop this year. And when I got this in May, I put it on and loved it immediately. But I said, this doesn't feel right because this polish screams winter to me. It has the softest, like whitish gray base with linear holographic and platinum flakes. Here's what it looks like right here. And this one I think is going to require some kind of blurring base coat because of its lightness and color, but it is going to be so worth it because this one is so pretty, so pretty. An untried I'd love to get around to from KB Shimmer is called Up to Snow Good. And if any of these are still available, I will link them down in the description box. This one is a gray leaning white base, or maybe a gray base with a lot of white in it, with a beautiful blue shimmer and holographic sparkle. I believe this is an older KB Shimmer shade, but I found it on Beyond Polish last year and just had to snatch it up because the glow is immaculate. It's so beautiful. It had a great formula too. It was fully opaque in 2 to 3 coats. Really, really easy application. One that was on my winter rack last year that I just didn't get around to that I'd love to wear this year comes from Pahlish, and it's called Geysir. It is a super soft, silvery gray base with lots of holographic sparkle and I think some iridescent microflakes maybe. Very small ones. Here's what it looks like in 3 coats. Yeah, just the softness of the base color reminds me of snow, and I imagine the sun sparkling off of this polish. It's gonna be perfect, perfect for winter. And then the last kind of silvery gray shade I have comes from Night Owl Lacquer. This one is called Sword That Seals the Darkness, and it came out in April of last year's Hella Handmade Creation shop. This one has a silvery base with holographic flakes and super strong, very shiny, maybe metallic shimmer that shifts blue to green. I got this in PR and remember just absolutely raving about it because it's so shiny and just sparkly. This one would be beautiful for the holidays, but the blue-green shimmer just makes me want to wear it when there's snow on the ground. And where I live, there's not snow on the ground yet. So here's what it looks like built up in 3 coats. Just wow. The hollow base is so sparkly. It almost has like a warmth to it. I absolutely love this polish. And then moving on to some whites I have, or I guess maybe this isn't a white. This one's from OPI, and it's called I Can Only Wear OPI. This one's a cream polish, and I would call it a white with a little bit of gray in it. You can kind of not tell, but it's here in 3 coats, and yeah, this one was beautiful. Really self-leveling formula, and I can see this one with a beautiful sparkly topper. Oh my goodness, yes. One I'd like to put back on my nails this season comes from Wildflower Lacquer, and it is Blue Calcite. I saw this on a few people's in the big seasonal collaboration that Amanda, the Nail Polish Hound, puts together. I saw a lot of people with this on their rack and I had to grab for it too. It has such a soft but fresh white base. It really looks like freshly fallen snow, and then shimmer that shifts blue to green. I must really be feeling that blue to green shift this season. So here's what that one looks like, and this was another one that I believe I swatched in the summer, and as soon as I put it on, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to wear this in the winter time, so hopefully this winter. One that I could have on my nail polish rack any time of year, all year, is from Stella Chroma, and it's called Coconut Creme. This one came out in last year's holiday collection, and it is one of my favorites. I've worn this polish 3 times, which is a lot. It has a warm white base with all of these iridescent sparkles, and you can see some of them on the nail, but they definitely show up a little bit more on in the bottle than they do on the nail. Regardless, this one has an impeccable formula for a white. I believe at my nail length before I've gotten it fully opaque in 2 coats, it's very self-leveling, not at all patchy, super easy to work with, and just has the softest, sweetest sheen. I love Coconut Cream from Stella Chroma. From Nailed It Nail Polish, we have Aurora. This one has a beautiful white base and just the most stunning shimmer that shifts red to copper and holographic flakes. This is one of those polishes I ordered based on the swatch photos, but when I got it in person, I was like, holy cannoli, this is even prettier in person. And then when I got it on the nail wheel, I was just like floored. Look how beautiful. The shimmer pops so well against that base. It is remarkable. Another one that would be a rewear for me this season comes from Cuticula, and it is Pegasus Wings. It has a kind of gray leaning white base with some beautiful, incredible dragon glass flakes. Wow. This is another one I could see myself wearing many different times of year, around the holidays, in the springtime, but I don't know, something about this just said winter to me this year. Here it is in 3 coats. This one's definitely best built up in 3. You may even want to pair a blurring base coat with it, depending on your nail length, but I just am really impressed with how sparkly those flakes look like in that white base. An untried that is on my rack this season, because I just got this I think a couple months ago, comes from Cirque Colors, and it is Hatch. This one I know is intended to be a spring polish, but I just really would like to wear it this winter. It has a slightly grayed out white base. I'm seeing that again a lot on my rack this season with a lot of different flakes. It's got some black flakes, maybe some glass flakes in there. Yeah, it's really cute. So here's Hatch in 2 coats, and this one I think is going to be a 3-coater on my nails, but you never know. Sometimes Cirque surprise me and I do get them opaque in 2 coats, so excited to wear that one. This next one is another rewear. I'm finding myself really gravitating towards some tried and true polishes that I just haven't worn in a while this season, like just those kind of shades that bring you some comfort. This one comes from Anchor and Heart Lacquer, and it's called Freeze. Unfortunately, it was a prototype. I wish it was really you know, for real available, because I would buy a backup of this one. It has like an eggshell colored base with blue shimmer, and then hex glitters in light blue, like a teal, and then white. I think this combination is super unique, and this is maybe the only Anchor and Heart lacquer polish I have, and I love it. I don't know why I don't get more. Here's what it looks like in 3 coats, and again, I just think this combo works so well. The soft shimmer, the white and teal glitters are just beautiful together. I do think I'll need a blurring base coat, but it is so worth it. A few more glitter Crellies. I am loving those this season. This one comes from Ethereal, and it is called Misty Morning. This one has a soft white base with some warm toned flakes, multi-chrome flakes, and then some blue hex glitters and square glitters. I just think this combination is really unique with the warmth of the flakes and then the coolness of the glitters. It kind of gives me, the snow has fallen, but it's starting to melt, and now you can see the dirt and grass underneath kind of vibes. So here's 2 coats of Misty Morning. Again, just a really fun combination. I can't get enough of these blue glitters. I really like them. And then the last white one is hardly a white with all the glitter packed in there, but it comes from Glisten Glow, and it's called Ice. It's an older polish from them. It has a white base, but again, you can hardly tell because there are just so many glitters in there. It has a bunch of bright sky blue hex glitters, holographic micro glitters, and then I think navy hex and micro glitters too. So here's what it looks like in 2 coats. I think because all the glitter in here, 2 coats is all I'm gonna need. Definitely gonna need a glitter smoother. Wow. I just, again, love this combination. The blue, that's the sky blue, and the navy with the hollow is just so fun. And then the last color category I have to share with you today are some gorgeous blues. This one could maybe fit in a couple categories. I bet you already know what it is. It's from Wildflower Lacquer, and it's called Moonstone. This one actually released in the same collection as Blue Calcite, which I shared earlier. Man, what a great collection. But Moonstone has a soft gray base with shimmer that shifts like cobalt blue to sky blue to, at some angles, it looks to be indigo. It is mesmerizing, and my camera is doing it no justice. So here is 3 coats of Moonstone. Just my goodness, the glow is remarkable. And this one's another one I could wear any time of year because it's just that beautiful, but screams winter to me. I have a dusty blue from Ethereal Lacquer. This one is called Hades, and it released in the Persephone collection in 2022. Wow, look how you can see those shifts. That's why I got this polish. It has a dusty blue base and then shimmer that shifts red to copper to gold to green. I just thought the shifts in this were really unique and beautiful. It kind of reminded me of Cert Colors Velveteen, which I wore recently and was not 100% in love with. This one has a slightly lighter base than Velveteen, and I felt like the formula was a little bit easier to use. Up next, we have another Wildflower. They are popping up on my rack a lot this season. This one's called Your Presence is Requested, and it came out in the 12 Days of Sparkles box from 2021. I've actually gotten around to most of those polishes, like wearing the ones that I held on to, which is pretty impressive. It was a really beautiful advent calendar, and I wish I would have gotten this year's too. But this one is like a brighter, more fresh powder blue with large particle shimmer that shifts gold to red. I find that shifting shimmers are one of my favorite finishes to wear this time of year because something about them just really reminds me of the sun shining on the snow, and this one definitely fits that description. I've been wanting to wear more magnetics lately, so I grabbed this Penelope Lose. It is called Well Well, and it came out in October's 2021 polish pickup. I kind of forgot what this looked like magnetized until I put it on my swatch wheel, and then I had some second thoughts. In the bottle, unmagnetized, it looks very wintry to me with that dusty blue and the purple shifts. But then when I magnetized it, I was like, oh, that's not super wintry to me. In fact, this looks like something I'd wear more in the summer, but if I get tired of the dusty shades, this is one I will be reaching for. When it's magnetized, the base shifts from a bright blue to a gorgeous teal, and the magnetic line shifts from red to orange to maybe gold. It's really pretty, just brighter than I was expecting. Just 4 more to look at. This one comes from Ethereal. You can see it's an older one, and it is called Borealis. This came out in many years ago, an advent calendar from Colorista Carol. I got a bunch of those in a mystery bag, and I've worn almost all of them too, but not this one yet. It has a dusty, like midnight peacocky blue base with shimmer that shifts from green to purple and some gorgeous multi-chrome flakes. The multi-chrome flakes don't really come through that well on the nail, but I find that the shimmer is super shifty and it kind of gives the base color a hazy look. I really like the components together. A polish that I purchased at the end of last year but haven't worn yet is called Fantasia. This was one of their gift with purchases from Black Friday in 2021. It has a sheer blue base and it's packed with these gigantic blue to green to purple shifting flakies. Something about the depth of the blue base really made me want to wear it for winter time. On the nail, this one was a little bit sheer than I was expecting it to be. I think I'm almost certainly gonna have to pair it with some kind of base, probably like a navy cream, like Zoya Sailor or something like that, to really love it. But man, those flakes are fantastic. A swamp gloss that I got gifted. I think I actually gifted this to someone and then they didn't love it and re-gifted it back to me, and I was like, well, fine, I will take it. This one is Self-Report and Weep. It came out in December 2020's PPU. This is amazing. I can't believe I haven't worn it yet. It has a blue base and some stunning holographic flakes. It's very pigmented. Here's what it looks like in 2 coats, and it's just like, it's almost a navy. I think the person I gifted it to was expecting more of like a cobalt blue, and this one's definitely a lot darker, but I think it makes it perfect for wintertime. And then the last polish on my winter rack this season comes from Bee's Knees Lacquer. It's called Our Lady of Blessed Murder. This came out in the Nevernight Chronicles collection. It has a blackened base with a blue magnetic pigment. Yes, it's magnetic. And then some gorgeous flakes. But this is another one that unmagnetized in my head, looked perfect for winter, and then I magnetized and I was like, whoa, that looks different than I realized. So I guess I could have put it with the black Stella Chroma. It really is truly a black base, and then pulling in those blue magnetic pigments really show off all of the beauty of those flakes. I feel like the swatch wheel is doing no justice to this polish either, but you can kind of see how glorious this is. So pretty and so dark. So those are all the polishes that are on my winter rack for this season. I'd love to see myself get around to wearing at least half of them, but you know, we will see. Let me know in the comments if you have and love any of these polishes. Have you worn them yet? Are there any I should put on the front of my list to wear that you've worn before because you just love them so much? Let me know. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful winter season, and I will talk to you later. Bye.